Hey y'all, how's it going? So it is time to get ready for the trip to Arkansas. We got a lot of stuff to get done. I'm gonna do some work on the truck and do some work on the camper. So let's get all this stuff started. So a few things we got to get done is, number one, we're going to have to change the air filters, then we're going to change the oil filters and the fuel filters on this truck. So we're going to get this stuff done, taken care of. I've also got to take care of another little problem. So we had some softball size and baseball size and golf ball size hail here at home the other day, and we took a few dents to the new truck, but not too bad. Should be able to paintless dent repair, get them out of there. It's still aggravating. You can see a couple of the little dents. There's one there, and there's one over there in the middle. But overall, we fared a whole lot better than a lot of people. We managed to get the truck to the storage where the trailer is before it got too bad, thank God. And Nicole got the car in the garage, but my old truck actually fared pretty well setting out in it. And it has a little bit of damage on the hood, but all in all, pretty good. The windshield was cracked prior. Alright, so we're going to do the easiest job first. Air filter, 10mm. You got several bolts all the way around it. Pop that out. Change out the filter. All right, changing out this air filter on this truck. This is a 22 Ram, by the way, if y'all don't already know this. But to get this up high enough, you've got to take these two plugs off. Unless somebody knows a better solution for getting these plugs off or putting this air filter in, please let me know. All right, so these two filters are both genuine Mopar air filters. This one's got about 9,000 miles on it because when I bought the truck, the brand new filter that was in it looked just like that for 1,000 miles. So we're going with this one. That's gonna be the part number. And there's a lot of confusion out there on these 22s and 23 Rams. On these diesels, they'll give you two different part numbers for this air filter. My dealership gave me this one. I haven't had any issues with it or anything like that, but everybody says from a lot of people that are having problems with their engine to go with this part number, which is actually the one that goes for 19s and newer. So if y'all got an opinion or any difference that y'all have experienced between the two different air filters, and I'll place both part numbers here in the video, but I have had no issues with this one since I put it in. Like I said, this one's about 9,000 miles. We're gonna put this one in and I'll see what the difference is. I know whenever I first got the truck, I was throwing an air filter code and I had this one in it, but it was horrible looking. All right, so we got the air filter in. All good to go. Now for the dirty work. Underneath the truck. So we are going to be changing out the fuel filters. My recommendations to make this easier, if you decide to do it yourself, I ordered this shallow 28mm socket off Amazon. I'll put the link in there. Ziploc baggie. So you're gonna have diesel that comes out of these filters. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's gonna happen. Best way you can do it, take your time, have a drain pan and a Ziploc baggie. So that way you can put the filter in the Ziploc baggie and hopefully minimize the amount of spilt diesel. So there are better videos online for how to change these fuel filters. I am not a professional. I'm a YouTube mechanic, just like all of y'all. So, right up here, you're gonna have, let's see if I can get a closer. I should have brought my light out here. You're gonna have an 8mm. It's gonna be a drain, and you're gonna drain out what diesel's in this. You can get it like a coffee can or something set right here on top of this drive line to catch most of it. I gotta go find one. And then once you get ready, you can get that 28mm socket. You can put it right here, get it loosened. Once you start getting it to loosen up, you're gonna have some diesel pour out of it a little bit, but as it comes out and where you can get it to hand loosen, put your Ziploc baggie around it and you can drop it and minimize the spilling. I'm gonna go find some kind of catch can, and I'll let you know how bad this turns out. All right, y'all don't tell Nicole, but I got one of her good Tupperwares. Actually, it's Ziploc. But I'm gonna use that, set that up there, use the 8mm, drain this off, and just in case, I've got my big pan underneath the drive line, just in case I missed some. Alright, so the truck has been sitting for about 24 hours. Actually longer than that because I hadn't driven it in a couple days. Draining the diesel. Now this, actually you can do it by hand. It's got a little butterfly wings on it. I did not know. Get you a little closer shot of that drain plug. Alright, now that it's mostly drained out, I'm going to tighten that back up. Move this little Tupperware so I don't end up knocking it over and still ending up with diesel everywhere. I think He-Man put this on for those 80s kids. Now, my local dealership quoted me $700 for oil and filter changes. Oh, there we go. All right, we got it pretty well loosened. Don't know if it's quite loose enough, but we're gonna try and minimize the mess I make. Alright, filter is loose. Now, just to try and save us any drips. Alright. Old filter doesn't look that bad. So a lot of people change their fuel filters on their brand new trucks at 5,000 miles or 4,000 miles. I went with what the manual said, and a lot of them say 10 to 15. We're at a little over 10,000 right now, but we're fixing to go on a big trip. I want to make sure everything's good, clean, and ready to go. Good clean new filter, and there's the new O-ring. New filter's in place, O-ring's on. Make sure you have this lined up with the drive line because there's a little piece inside of that it'll slide on and clip in. There, now start tightening. Alright, I try and remember where the orientation of this little butterfly deal is so I can make sure I can get it good and seated. I think we're good to go. Now for the hard one. Alright. It's kind of hard to see. Here's the top filter. There is a little drain right there, and I believe you can hook a hose to it. I'm going to go see if I have one. Then you'll just unscrew that, And then once you pop that off, you got to try and work it out of here. So I think the easiest way is going to be to get it up and out and then try and go down by the drive shaft. All right, so there is a hose already connected to that little yellow drain right there. So I'm gonna try and get that loosened up, drain as much out of this as I can, and which I believe this one is the water separator, and then try and get this sucker off of here. Front filter is done. There is no mess way about doing it. Even if you drain it, there's still going to be some that comes out. It still makes a little bit of a mess. Overall, not too bad. I had a drain pan underneath, so now we're going to see if we're going to the dealership or not. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it starts. So you want to hit it twice, listen for the fuel pump. Hit it again. They say to do it 2 or 3 times. Give it a second. That way maybe it'll prime the fuel filters up. Alright, let's see if it starts. Fired right up. Let's see if it continues to run, and then on to the oil. All right, so we went and got diesel and filled up the truck, and everything ran good and smooth with the new fuel filters in. Now it's time to get to the oil filter. There's the old air filter and the old fuel filters. Not too bad. Probably been okay for a little bit longer, but still gonna change them. It's not gonna hurt. May cost a little extra money, but it's worth it. So, if I can find it, if you're changing your own oil on one of these new Cummins diesels, I recommend getting you one of these. $15 or so on Amazon. This one's aluminum. They make plastic ones. So this screws into the top of your oil filter once you take it down out of the truck, which is going to be on passenger side right there. So we are on the passenger side, and when you drop it, it'll fall into a spot right just straight down, and it'll sit there. You take this piece, screw onto the top of it that secures it, and it'll seal against the lid, this, and then you can just get a hold of it with here, and you can pull it straight out sideways, ideally not spilling a drop. Another way you can do it is with the Ziploc bag. Set the Ziploc bag. Once you get it down, you can set the Ziploc bag over it and pull it out sideways, and keep most of it in there also. But this right here, definitely worth it if you're going to always change your own oil. Changing the oil on this truck is just a lot like any other truck. No different really. 3/8 inch drive. Drop your drain plug right there. Just remember, this truck has a lot of oil. So make sure you get to at least a 12 to 16 quart oil pan. Otherwise, you're gonna make a really, really big mess. All right, had a big oil pan, still made a big mess, which is a good reason I have a big piece of cardboard. So, my silly self should have known, taking the drain plug out. I was trying to keep it in just a little bit and let it drain around the drain plug, but the drain plug came all the way unscrewed, and it come out full blast. And it hit the pan and splashed everywhere. So now I got a mess to clean up. Don't tell Nicole. All right, so here we are working on the oil filter. As you can see, that little piece screwed right into the top of it, and allegedly one-handed out, didn't spill anything. definitely worth 15 bucks. All right, so I hope that video helped you out a little bit. To reset your gauges, what you'll do is you'll hit the push to start button. Don't put your foot on the brake, don't start the truck, but hit it twice. Scroll through the menu to your fuel filter life and your oil filter life, and you can change both of those just by holding it to the right and resetting it. And you can go through it. That's all there is to it. Now that I've got this big mess to clean up, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, I hope it made you laugh. Hope everybody has a great day. Stay safe, make sure like and subscribe. I've got some more content coming up. Plus, we are going on the big trip to Arkansas. So, everybody stay safe.